just feel like I'm going to lose my mind. Today is cycle day 24. I feel like I'll never see those two lines. Like, it just seems impossible. You just want it so bad, so you just think anything could be it. Today I'm going to be sharing and talking about my infertility and trying to conceive journey. I have been procrastinating this video for so long. I kept thinking that I was going to make it on a more positive light, like pregnant after 4 years of trying, but that has not happened, and I can't keep waiting for that to happen to put my story out there. So here I am. I'm gonna try to be open and just real with you all and share my story and just kind of open the door for a safe space, a safe community for those that are trying to conceive, those that are experiencing infertility, and just in this infertility, weird, messed up world that we didn't ask to be in, but here we are. I'm in my bed. I don't know. I just felt inclined to sit down and finally record this video, so here we are. Let's be real, y'all. Trying to conceive, infertility, all of it. It freaking sucks. It sucks. It's not fair. It's traumatizing. It's one of the hardest things that I'd say I have experienced. The main reason that it is just pure insanity. You are expecting different results every month. You're expecting to be pregnant, you're hoping that you're pregnant, and you're not. You're let down. Like, it's quite literally insanity. It makes you lose your mind. I definitely lost mine. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, tell you guys my story, our story. This journey can be so isolating. You can feel so alone. It can just be so hard and heartbreaking and traumatizing. And I just want those out there that have been struggling with this to really know that their feelings are valid and none of this is fair. All of this freaking sucks. You don't deserve this. Like, this isn't your fault. I don't know. I just really want those out there to know that they're not alone and that there is a whole community out there that is with you and there if you need to talk. I know I am there if anyone needs to talk, because like I said, this journey can just be so isolating and just lose your mind. Like, you quite literally feel like you're losing your mind. It's just hard, and I don't think any of us thought we would be here. I mean, we are constantly preached that if you have sex, you're gonna get pregnant. I know me for sure, growing up, like, being in health class, being a teenager, I mean, you always are scared to get pregnant. You always think that you're gonna get pregnant. It's just one of those things. So when you actually start trying to and it can't happen, it's devastating. I mean, it's like the one thing you think that your body is able to do as a woman, as whatever, and then it's not happening, and that's just the tip of it all. It's just a very long, it's just sad. It's a very sad, I'm rambling, but I'm just going to kind of give you a rundown of my story, my situation, me and Jonathan's situation. I also feel like, because I'm younger, and if you are one of the ones that are younger who are in this boat, it also puts you in a really weird box because you're younger, and I mean, it's just strange. I don't know. And I'm at the point now where I'm very open about it, and like, I know how I feel is valid. I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly, but I had my feelings about this and was experiencing this 2 years ago. I was just in a much different headspace, even a year ago. But within this past year, I've really kind of validated my own feelings with all of this, and kind of given myself some grace and allowed myself to know that this sucks. And it isn't fair, and it's not because I want it too bad, it's not because this and that, it just sucks. And yeah. If you don't know me, my name is Carly, and I have shared a little bit about my journey. Okay, maybe more than a little bit. I'm pretty open about my journey over on my TikTok, but I really wanted to make a video here and hopefully it reach more people, go a little bit more in depth, and just really make a video about infertility, how it can affect you, and how it's affected me. I'm getting so worked up and I don't know why. I have anxiety just talking about this. It's so weird, even though like I'm so open about it. I don't know, it's strange. Okay, anyway, this past April, it is now July. This past April was the 4-year mark for us. And I kind of just want to do a little backstory, because when you say you're 21 and you have been trying for a baby for 4 years, it's kind of like, what the heck? To sum it up really quickly, I graduated high school a year early. I graduated when I was 16 and I turned 17 the month after, a month later. Me and Jonathan immediately started renting a basement together. I was working, I ended up going to beauty school. He was working, blah, blah, blah. So I just want to put that out there, that I may have been young, but anyway. All right, so the first 2 years pretty much of our journey, we were not like trying for a baby. You know, we were young, we were working, we were doing all of the things, we were just living our best life, we were drinking on the weekends, we were being teenagers, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we definitely had our head on our shoulders, you know, we were pretty stable. I've always been a very like determined, motivated person. So I say we've been trying for 4 years because I have not been on birth control for 4 years. We've been unprotected for 4 years, blah, blah, blah. So I just want to put it out there that the first 2 years of our journey, we were just living. We were not being careful. We were just letting whatever happened happen. I can't lie if I didn't say that, you know, as time went on, you know, I often wondered, like, you know, what the heck's going on? Because as a woman, you think that it's gonna happen so easily. I mean, you just think that you're gonna do this, you're gonna get pregnant, and you're gonna have a baby. Like, I just kept waiting for that day for, you know, my period to not come, and then I was gonna find out I was pregnant and blah, 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 and we'd have to figure things out and, you know, make changes. Like, I knew we could handle anything that came our way. We both knew we wanted to be parents. You're probably thinking, how the heck did you know you wanted to be parents with somebody? You guys were so young. And yeah, we were so young, I know, but I don't know, we both, there's so much more to it, and nothing is black and white. Things are so complex, so we just gotta put that out there. First 2 years, we were just living our lives. 2 years go by, I get my cosmetology license, I'm doing hair in a salon, we buy our first home together. So in my head, I'm like, this is it, like, it's all coming together. You know, we weren't in the best situation, like we would have made it work, but obviously having our own home, like we have 5 acres, like this is amazing, like we're gonna have a baby now, like obviously. I bought baby clothes from the thrift store. Eventually I bought a crib on Amazon for like 80 bucks. It was like a convertible crib that I could use as a bed in the guest room for a little bit. Like, I really thought that it was gonna happen, you know? We're in the house, now it's meant to be, like we have a home together. It's just all coming together beautifully. It's getting a little cold in here, so I'm gonna put. After we moved into this house, time was just going by. After we were living here for a couple months is when I really started to get into like tracking my ovulation and really kind of taking it more seriously. Towards us getting closer to getting our house, I started like vitamins and I did stuff like that, thinking that that was gonna help. We were living here and I was tracking, I was testing, I was doing all of the things. I tried various different supplements like prenatals. I tried like the Conceive plus lube. I did all of the things that, you know, you try and stuff when you're trying to conceive. I did the Conceive Plus supplements. Those really freaking got my hopes up. I really thought those were it. I did 3 months of those, and at the end of the after the end of the 3-month mark, my period came late, and oh boy did it get my hopes up. I really thought that that was it, and I was pregnant, and yeah, forewarning, that's how a lot of months would go. I would really get my hopes up, and then they would quickly crash to the ground. So like I said, we were living here for a couple months. I got into testing. I was doing all of that stuff. I ended up going to the doctor. I had gone to the doctor, you know, for normal woman stuff and things like that in the past, and everything was pretty normal. I had bad periods as I got a little older, yada yada. So I really do want to add into all of this as well that I got into joining, like, trying to conceive Facebook groups and things like that. Like, I was in a group chat, and within that group chat I met these 2 girls that were around my same age, and it was so great to have people around my same age that were trying to conceive and just, you know, in my same boat. It was so great to have them to talk to, but at the same time it definitely made me fixate and kind of just lose my mind a little bit more. But it's hard because you want someone to be there for you. We were there for each other, but at the same time, you know that it's like a bit unhealthy. But then it may have been like I was fixating on it and stuff, but it genuinely was affecting me. I mean, I wanted to be a mom more than anything. I always wanted to be a mom, and it just was so hard thinking that it's just so hard. And it was really hard being younger and just feeling like you were just dealing with this thing in private. So extremely hard to talk about, and for you to really like it doesn't really matter what you're feeling or what you say. Like, you're dealing with it, you're going through it, and people that have kids they just don't relate, they don't understand. I'm sure, like, and with that being said, people most definitely could have went through this, and, you know, they got their baby out of it and stuff, and they can relate and be there for you. But just on a day-to-day interaction, I mean, talking with people in your day-to-day, it's hard. Like, you're carrying the weight of this thing, and it's like no one truly understands how serious it is for you, or how serious it can be. I feel like I'm all over the place with this. It's so hard and crazy to like talk about it in such a broad spectrum of just everything and just this whole journey, because I mean, it's just been so crazy. Like, I thought I was gonna get pregnant 4 years ago. I thought I was gonna be a teen mom. I mean, don't we all? Like, we all think we're gonna get knocked up and like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't know. All right, where the heck was I? This is what I really wanted to talk about in this video, and I just really hope you guys understand how this can affect somebody. And if you guys are going through this, you absolutely understand what I'm talking about. And if you're watching this because a loved one is experiencing this and you want a little bit more insight to like what they're going through, what they're experiencing, I hope this kind of shows you guys how this can change you. I guess that's a good way to put it. As long as I can remember, I've wanted to be a hairstylist. I loved hair and makeup. I always wanted to do hair and makeup. When I graduated high school early, I very quickly enrolled in beauty school, and I was going to beauty school and I was working part-time. I eventually got a job in a salon as like a receptionist while I was in beauty school. Like, I truly was living my dream. Like, it was amazing. I graduated beauty school, I got my cosmetology license, I was working in a salon that I loved. Like, I legit was loving my life. Like, everything was just working so great. I was so happy. Like, I was doing what I loved, and it makes me so sad. Like, it makes me so sad when I think about it all, because I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I get so angry at it all. I get angry at wanting a baby in general. I get angry at infertility. Like, it's brought forth so many emotions and thoughts and feelings, and just, like I said, it just makes me feel like I'm losing my mind. I was doing what I loved. We had bought a house. We were renovating our house because this was a fixer-upper. So that was another thought I always had. I was like, well, it's okay. Like, it wasn't meant to happen in the beginning because we were really renovating. We were hustling. Like, we were doing so much in those first couple months of us living here. Like, it's good that I didn't get pregnant. Like, I was really working myself hard, etc. But as time went by, as each month went by, the time just goes by, and my heart is just breaking and breaking. And it's just like, I love doing hair. I'm so happy and I love this, but I want to be a mom. Like, I want to be a mom so bad. And it just outweighed everything. Like, my want and desire to be a mother just crushed my dreams of doing hair and just all of that. Like, was just up here, you know. It was so important to me. Like, I just wanted to be a mother. So in the midst of me trying, I started learning about how fragrances were contributing to fertility problems and just the negative effects of fragrances. And then that took me down the whole freaking rabbit hole that I live in now, of just being very naturally minded and non-toxic and all of that. I got into all of that. It was like no hesitation. I didn't want to be around chemicals at all. Like, I just started to realize how much I was around this stuff. Like, I used so many cleaning products. Like, I was around hair products all the time. I mean, ever since I can remember, I've been putting makeup on my face. Like, I started coloring my hair at home with, like, hydrogen peroxide when I was, like, in 5th grade. I mean, your whole life, you are using chemicals everywhere. I mean, your dish soap, your cleaners, your Febreze, fragrances are just everywhere. Like, this stuff is everywhere. Like, I've never questioned any of this my entire life. Like, I've been so quick to put some makeup on or do any of that. And I just started learning about these things, and it was just like my jaw hit the floor. It's like, how can, like, throw it out the window, get rid of it. Like, there was just no hesitation. The dogs are trying to get into the room. They're scratching on the door. There's just no hesitation for me to throw all of that away and focus on my health and focus on healing my body. Long story short, I left the cosmetology world. I left the thing that I genuinely thought I was going to be doing, like, forever or for a long time. Like, you know, I'd probably own my salon one day. Like, I don't know. But then once I started learning about just the terrible toxins in our everyday, and I really want to put this out there that I have celiac disease. I've had celiac disease. Well, I've known about it since I was about 16, I believe, 15, 16. And it was hard for me to get diagnosed. I was really sick, and I really had to make doctors take me seriously to get my diagnosis. So I really just want to put that out there. It only takes, like, the smallest amount of gluten, of wheat, to give me a reaction, to make me sick. And that's not just me getting sick and having a reaction, that's like causing damage in my body. Celiac disease is an autoimmune disease, so it's not just like, you know, IBS or, that's not really a great example, but like, you could have silent celiac and not have any symptoms, and you could be eating it all the time, but you're still causing damage to your body. So I knew how crazy and how serious the cross-contamination the smallest amount of something could be to your body. So when you think about that and you think about all of the products that we're using and just everything, it wrecked my world. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do things differently. I have to take my health seriously. I have to prioritize my body. When I was doing hair and I was working in the salon, I was driving about an hour and 15 minutes one way, and that's like pretty good, you know, no traffic and stuff. I was driving that far one way. When I worked, I was running off of coffee, Dr. Pepper. I was not eating good at all. I was not eating healthy. I would go all day almost without eating. Like, I was just not taking care of my body. So when I started to open my mind up to all of the harm that was just out there, I really decided to take my health seriously. There wasn't any question about it. I started swapping everything. I started learning as much as I could. Jonathan too, like Jonathan was fully on board for all of this when I started staying home. And again, like if there's anything specific that you guys want to know more about, I definitely could go a little bit more in depth on things, but you guys probably don't care. But anyway, you know, he was all on board. Jonathan was all on board for me staying home and focusing on my health and just taking care of our home and just kind of taking a breather. He knew how much it all was affecting me, and it was always a thing. It's like if I had a kid and I was staying home, like it wouldn't be any concern, you know, I would be a stay-at-home mom, but I can't be a stay-at-home mom. So really, he is really awesome for allowing me to just take a breather and to find myself again. And I don't know, I'm so thankful that he gave me that, because it's led us here. And I'm getting all teary-eyed at such a weird part of this, not a part that I thought I would. But I'm just really thankful that I have such an amazing man by my side through all of this. He's all for our healthy living. He has been every step of the way, and he's just my biggest supporter. So I'm going on my second year of staying home since I left the cosmetology world and stuff. But I really, on a positive note with all of this, like I said, I left toxins, I left a lot of things behind, and I started living a very healthy lifestyle. You know, all the things, like trying to use stainless steel and glass and more wholesome food, organic. I use natural cleaning products, just all of the things. We both are super into exercising. We love exercising. And the biggest thing in all of this is I started my business. I mean, I started something that I'm so proud of, and that I never in a million years would think that I would be here in this position, 21, being sad that I don't have a baby, owning like a natural based business. Like, I don't know, it's so crazy where life takes us, but I have to look back and I have to be thankful at the same time of where all of this has brought me. We live such a healthy life. We do so many things, and we just live our lives such a different way than we did and that we would have if we never were trying or never did want a baby. It's done some amazing things for us, and I mean, I've changed, I've grown, I've learned so much about things in general, about products and stuff, but also just about myself. I mean, I've had months where this has been so hard for me. Like, I genuinely feel like I was in a fog. I was in such a depression. And I don't think you would know it, but I mean, I just was so sad all the time. Even when I was happy, it was just always a, you know, just a hard time. I feel like I mentioned that I have gone to the doctors, and I guess that kind of leads us to where we're at now. What have we been doing? What are our plans moving forward? All of those things. So I did go to the doctor. Everything is normal. I do have endometriosis, most likely, She kind of gave me like an unofficial diagnosis. My mom and my sister both have that, so it would make sense. And I have all of those type of symptoms. I will say, with me taking my health so seriously, I do notice differences. Anyway, so I did go to the doctor, and she said like everything is normal. I mean, she referred that Jonathan has his sperm tested, and then from there we came up with a plan and what we wanted to do moving forward. But she kind of just said that just timing, you know, it just, I don't know. That was probably the end of last year that I had that appointment with her. Moving forward, me and Jonathan decided to wait. I really thought I was gonna get pregnant in January. I really thought that it was gonna happen, and I was like, we're just gonna wait, and you know, then we'll move forward. Long story short, I feel like I've said that quite a few times, but it's July. It's like July 15th right now. It's like the middle of July. I have not got his sperm tested. All of this year, really, we've just been doing a lot of thinking, and I don't know, it not happening, and like, you just imagine your life a certain way, you know, like I thought that I would be a stay-at-home mom, we'd be living in this house, we'd start our family, etc., and then it just hasn't happened. Our life hasn't gone that way, and that's okay, but it really just makes you rethink so much, and you think about so many things. And then when I turned 21, I really thought it was gonna happen for my birthday. Something about being 21, and I've only been 21 for like a month, you know, it still could happen, but after it didn't happen for my birthday, I really just have to somehow come to terms with my reality. I guess that's the best way I can put it, is I have to come to terms with my reality, and I have to learn how to be happy and how to live with the reality that I have, because it's not healthy for me. It's so hard, and it's so draining. Just this whole journey, this whole year, we have not, half a year, because it's July, we have not tested or anything like that. I don't even have a period app on my phone anymore. I haven't had one of those for months. Like, I feel like I slowly took a step back, but mentally I was still 3 steps forward. It's so hard to not have hope. Even when you don't want to have hope, you have that little bit of hope. It's such a conflicting time in your mind during this time. As of now, I don't want to do IUI or IVF. I have no idea what my thoughts would be on that in the future, but that's something that we do not plan on pursuing. Currently at a place where I feel content. I feel tired from it all. I almost want to say angry. It's like I just wanted this beautiful thing. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to have babies. I wanted this beautiful thing, and it just broke my heart. It broke me. It just made me angry. I just feel drained from it all. And I have to fight those little moments where I still have that hope, because I truly feel like I just can't take it anymore. Like, I just have to move forward somehow. I'm not sure exactly how, but I know I'm in a place where I just have to really live with my reality. Well, if you guys stay tuned, we really have made some big plans to change everything up. This hasn't worked out for us yet. I feel in my heart that it will one day, but I'm ready to start a new chapter. I'm such a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and you know, I've sat back a year or 2 years, and I sit back and I think like, oh, I'm so glad that it didn't happen then. Like, we're in such a better place now. We're like, I've grown, I've learned so much. Like, I can look at things in a more positive perspective of like, I see why it didn't happen then. And that leads us to our plans and our changes moving forward. I mean, they're completely life-changing. I cannot wait to tell you guys about them. So y'all, please, you're gonna want to stick around. I may have been talking about not the most happiest things in today's video, but we truly do have some really exciting plans moving forward that I'm really gonna be posting a lot of here, so stay tuned. With the plans that we have moving forward, I often wonder, you know, if this is just another part of the plan and I just have to hang in there and hang in there but yet release at the same time, and just kind of let life happen and see where it takes us. You can get so lost in these moments where you don't understand why, and when you want things and they don't happen and this and that, but I'm gonna believe that this is all for somehow a bigger, greater thing out there, opposed to just another sad story of mine. I'm okay. I'm okay. A couple months ago, I was not okay. I'm trying to just find peace in all of it, and I obviously have my moments. You know, I'm not saying like, oh, I just threw all of my trauma for the past 4 years away. It's most definitely still one of the hardest things I've ever dealt with. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble about our story. I hope I made a drop of sense, because quite frankly, I feel like I have been all over the place. I didn't think this was gonna be like hard for me to film, but I just feel disoriented. Like I feel like it has been a little bit hard for me to film, so I don't know. It would also mean the world to me if you would subscribe if you want to see more about me and Jonathan's lives, our content moving forward, or are just curious with where this life takes us after infertility and after this very difficult time period in our lives.